Now you see here the tanker bug sequence. This is the very first animatics done by Phil Tippett's group, and with some storyboards. But you see once in a while you can see the shots that are more or less corresponding to what we have done later. It was also again this is when Birdie is hit by the fire and loses her arm. It was done again because the scene to shoot was so complicated, because there was no real big tanker bug available, so we could get a feeling a little bit what was happening by having the animatics available to us when we were shooting the scene. So that would give us an indication. That is a shot that shot there is more or less visible in the scene, but it's all done a little bit in a different way. Some of these shots are very close still to what it became later, and other ones have been changed because when we were on the set, of course, working on this shell that was built on the tractor, other possibilities became available and others were not possible. But if you compare the two scenes, you will see that a lot of that is kind of the scene as we had it, especially, for example, here. Of course, we shot that in reality with Johnny Rico. Again, a shot like that and this would be shots that later were done by Phil by digital animation, not only of the tanker bug, but also digital animation of Johnny Rico himself. So Johnny is not real Johnny, is not the actor Casper Van Dien, but is a digital image of Casper. And here you see the scene in a little bit different way. This is a little bit. This is how it was shot in reality, basically without anything around. Isn't it? He jumps onto nothing. This is the shell that John Richardson constructed, and that are the shots that Vic Armstrong did. This is a bug. When you see an empty field like that, it means that there is a bug inside that field. That was all done in reality, so you get a good feeling. Here is a bug in frame that you don't see. This was a reality. Another bug in frame. Another bug that was all added later. These are called plates, so that basically you have a background for the bug later. The bug, of course, being a three-dimensional animated digital effect. And all these empty shots where you think, what is that? That is all supposed to be a shot where later a bug was added. In that shot where he just fell, there was a bug in the background in the real scene. And here, the bug explodes, isn't it? That was real stuff. But when he walks away, he looks to the background where the bug is now dying. And of course, there is nothing there. That is the reality as it was shot. So you can imagine how difficult it was for the actors to react on all that stuff that was not there. Now you get a more combination of everything, where you see this was added, and now you see the bug being added to the shot. This is all normal real stuff. This is added, of course. You see an animatic on the foreground a little bit partially. This is nearly a shot out of the movie. These are sometimes earlier versions that we finalized later, made them a bit more precise and stuff, so you feel a certain awkwardness sometimes in these shots, some of them still being animatics, but you can see where Johnny, this is a digital Johnny, but of course a model element, basically like a very rude way of portraying Johnny. Later, of course, we made this Johnny much more real. This is like you see there, then you can have the feeling that he really has his own clothes on and all that stuff, you know. So that is the last phase of the whole process, really. Yeah, that's kind of an animatic, isn't it? It's a bit in the middle, because the bug is partially real here, as part of that, like the skin or something, but then, of course, a lot of the elements are still not added.